Peace be unto you. We gather here tonight not to invoke the spirit of our fathers, but to acknowledge the things they have done in the past, the foundation that they had laid for us. We're here tonight to futurize.
Welcome you to our 13th annual Mr. and Miss Emancipation King Queen pageant. I do hope that you enjoy this program and enjoy your stay. I thank you for your patronage and hope you enjoy the show.
And our first entertainment this evening is being performed by Mr. Dylan Mattison, an African warrior.
The color of my skin and cultural identity. White, purity of soul triumphant in my destiny. Red, the blood that runs through my veins and spilled on the land of my people, oppressed in almost every way man can imagine possible. Strife, suffering, slaughter, barbaric encounter and murder erupts the rage within my soul and makes me stronger. Stained within my blood is an African warrior. Centuries of pain, brutal treatment, and torture brought to us through the whips of the slave master. No longer do we crouch in pain as inferior, but majestically we shall stand together. No one cared about the black man in those days. They didn't see the humanity in our ways. Forced to do the will of the slave master, we couldn't even practice our own culture. But we have risen over that. Through strength and black power, firmly I stand today as an African warrior. No matter where we went, we had a freedom fighter, a victorious, determined, dedicated ambassador. Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, even the United States of America. So trust me when I say that this black race wasn't destined for failure. I I have a dream. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, the black and the white shall walk side by side, equality measured in every stride. He had a dream for the black people of America. Martin Luther King Jr. was a stern example of a mercenary leader. Embellished within his blood was an African warrior. Nelson Mandela, he fought for the freedom of the people of South Africa. After the 1948 national election, the dominant party was in support of racial segregation. In 1962, he was arrested for acts they said was equal to treason. 27 years was his sentence in Johannesburg prison. But he wasn't about to stand down, and he wasn't about to give up, for he knew his destiny was embedded to prosper, and he rose as the first black president of South Africa. Stained within his blood was an African warrior. Risen over hatred and torture, victory against racism and slaughter, practitioners of our very own culture. No longer do we crouch in pain as inferior, but majestically we stand together, each and every one of us, a robust, resilient African warrior.
Miss Alicia Hankey, Queen Makeda of Ethiopia.
Do you know who I am? The whole world knows me as the Queen of Sheba. I have been called by many names by different people. To King Solomon of Israel, I was called Queen of Sheba. In Islamic tradition, I was called Bilqis or Balkis. By the Arabs, I was called Mareb. The Roman historian Josephus calls me Nicole. The Luya of Kenya call me Nakuti, while the Ethiopia people claim me as Makeda or Makeda. I was also called Saba, meaning host of heaven and peace. I was wealthy, rich in gold and other precious stones, as well as incense and exotic spices sought by neighboring kingdom. You remember, to the early ancient Greeks, Ethiopia referred to an empire that encompassed a vast territory extending to Arabia, Syria, Armenia, and the territory between the Mediterranean, the Indian Ocean, and the Persian Gulf. This is the empire that I was said to have reigned over. I was attracted by the Judeans' monarch, and so had to undertake a long and difficult journey to Jerusalem in order to learn of the great King Solomon. When I met with King Solomon, it was love at first sight. We were equally impressed with each other. Our son, Menelik I, was born out of our relationship. But you know something? King Solomon gave his son, Menelik I, the tables of law, which can up to today be found in the Church of Askam in Ethiopia. My name is mentioned in two holy books, the Holy Bible and the Quran. I am known to be beautiful, intelligent, understanding, resourceful, and adventurous. This gracious queen with such a melodious voice is also an eloquent speaker. My story is deeply cherished in Ethiopia as part of their national heritage and will remain forever forever embedded in the history of Ethiopia.
Carlos, this evening, is representing Mr. Nelson Mandela.
You, Nelson, get up. Today you are free. You can leave the prison today.
Free? You say that I am free? After 27 years, I am free? What made me survive all these years in there? Was it my intelligence? Was it my wisdom? Was it my royal heritage? Maybe it was my intelligence. I was educated, my primary education in Kunu. That is where I got the name Nelson. It was the Christian custom of that day to be named a Christian name. I went on to junior education and then my bachelor's. I joined the ANC later and I joined unarmed protests. We started off with unarmed protests, but we got caught up. We ended up harming somebody and we're convicted. We spent 5 years in a marathon trial, 5 years, but we were all acquitted because we were caught innocent. We continued along our innocent protests until we started our violent protests. We ended up killing someone this time, and we're convicted. This time I was sentenced for 5 years at the Robben Island prison. 5 years. 2 years into my sentence, they told me I must spend 27 years at Pearl Island. What to do, what to say. 27 years in Robben Island. When I was released, they opened the gates. I opened my heart and I forgave them. And I ran for president of South Africa. And I was successful as the first black president of the world. I showed the world how peace and wisdom can triumph over bigotry and idealism. I showed the world many things that no one else has. And today I stand before you, a free man, the president of South Africa.
Miss Kia Reeves. She is representing Queen Isis of Egypt.
Behold, I am come, daughter of Geb and Not. I am she, mother of all things, mistress of all the elements, queen of the ocean, queen of death, chief of divine power. My name, my divinity is known through all the world in many names. The Egyptians, which are excellent in all kinds of ancient doctrines, do call me by my true name, Queen Isis. A queen who took time to walk among her people and taught them countless trades, such as weaving, spinning, agriculture, healing, and metalworking. In a quest to gain civilization for all of humanity.
Let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Javin Neptune.
I am Mamadi Keita, born on 9th August 1950 in a small village called Balandugu, Guinea. My initiation to the djembe drum started at the early age of 7 under Karinkejan Kunde of that same village of Balandugu. Karinkejan was an elder master djembe pula who initiated me to the secrets of the djembe. This djembe drum was invented by the Malinke and Susu people from the West African regions of Mali and Guinea in the 13th century. I am a master drummer from the West African nation of Guinea. Do you know where West African drumming originated from? Well, it was originated from West Africa in various ethnic groups such as Malinke and Fulani. The Fula tribe that came from Guinea used the drum namely Fula Djembe or Djembe Fula. I am a member of the Manding ethnic group and specializes in a goblet-shaped hand drum called the djembe, and was the founder of the Tam Tam Manding School of Drumming. Mastered the theory and practical creation of this djembe instrument and was the youngest drummer to represent the country of Guinea at the age of 15. But wait, do you know the colors of my national flag? Well, my national flag color is red, yellow, and green. Red, the color of blood, symbolizes the anti-colonialist martyrs and their struggle for freedom. Yellow matches the second word in our motto, justice, which represents the country's gold and the sun. Green matches the third word in our motto, solidarity. We Guineans use the African drums to send messages to our fellow African people. I am Javing Neptune, proud to represent Mamadi Keita. Thank you.
Lewis, who's representing Winnie Mandela of South Africa.
I was born on the 26th of September 1936 in Bizana, Pandoland, Transkei, South Africa, and was given the birth name Nomzamo Winifred Madikizela. I was the first South African politician who has held several government positions and headed the African National Women's Congress League. I later married my husband, Nelson Mandela, and gave birth to two beautiful children, Zenani and Zendizwa. After my marriage in 1958, I suffered harassment, imprisonment, and periodic banishment. My supporters refer to me as the mother of the nation. It is extremely painful that people is accusing me of murder and kidnap a 14-year-old African National Congress activist, Stumpy McKetsy. In 1996, my husband and I divorced. But in March 2009, the Independent Electoral Commissioner ruled that I be selected as an independent candidate for the April 2009 general election, despite my conviction for fraud. The love for my hero, my husband, the anti-apartheid hero, will never die. Unfortunately, he is suffering from a recurrent lung infection. My daughter, Zendizwa, and I visit him at the Urology Hospital, Pretoria, South Africa. It is extremely painful to see my husband in this pain and suffering. The entire universe may praise this international hero, but I can boast that no one knows him better than I do. His departure to this lifelong journey is God's wish. I am the great, the one and only Nomzamo Winifred Madikizela.
Mr. Jamal Walker, representing King Imhotep of Egypt.
Thousands of years ago, before Christ became known to mankind, when the Egyptians still built the pyramids and the desert sand still crawled upon the plains of Egypt, there lived a man. And as you feast your eyes on this mortal flesh which I embody, who carries the name Jamal Walker, I plan to take you on a mystical journey back in time to when I existed. King Imhotep. Who was he? I am called God of medicine, Prince of Peace and the type of Christ. I am worshipped as a God and healer from approximately 2850 BC to 525 BC. Even kings and queens bowed at my throne. I lived during the 3rd dynasty at the court of King Zosa. I am a known scribe, chief lecturer, priest, architect, astronomer, and magician. For 3,000 years, I was worshipped as God in Greece and in Rome. Early Christians worshipped me as the Prince of Peace. I was also a poet and philosopher. I urge contentment and preach cheerfulness. My proverbs contain a philosophy of life. For it is I who said, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we shall die. When the Egyptians crossed the Mediterranean, they were determined to proclaim that they were the originators of everything. I was forgotten for thousands of years, and those hypocrites who came 2,000 years after me became known as the father of medicine. Ha! It is I who was the real father of medicine. The first figure of the physician to stand out clearly from the mist of antiquity. I diagnosed and treated over 200 diseases. 15 diseases of the abdomen, 11 of the bladder, 25 of the rectum, 29 of the eyes, and 18 of the skin, the hair, the nails, and the tongue. I even treated tuberculosis, arthritis, gallstones, appendicitis. I also performed surgery and practiced dentistry. I extracted medicine from plants. The people sang of my proverbs 2,500 years after my death. Bid you farewell and good night.
Miss Alexander represents Queen Nzinga of Angola, Egypt.
I am the great queen of West Africa. A warrior and military leader of Angola. I defended the kingdom against the Portuguese and annihilated them. I lived in the royal compound with my father, the ruler of Ndongo. It was during my brother's reign. I was sent to represent him at a peace conference with the Portuguese governor who refused to give me a chair. As a mark of power, I defied him by sitting on the back of my attendants. Educated in the fields of archery, hunting, diplomacy, and trade, I was able to successfully develop a treaty that would best benefit the people and my country. When my brother died, I became queen, and they had to face me. Nzinga, their most cunning rival. I proved my worthiness as a fearless leader. I demanded that the Portuguese put into action a new peace treaty, or war would be declared. You know, they refused to do so and even tried to banish me from my own country. Madness. This resulted in war. I formed strong relations with the Dutch, who wanted to end Portuguese control over the slave trade in Africa. I declared that all slaves to reach Angola would be freed. I resigned as queen for 40 years, and after my death, at the age of 81, my country unfortunately fell into the Portuguese hands. But even today, I am still known as an outstanding, impressive, Shinga, or Angola and Zinga. I am the great Queen and Zinga from Matamba, Angola, who fought for the freedom of my people and my land.
Contestant number 8, Mr. Carly Boros, representing King Sitaweyo of Zulu.
I am Sitawe, king of the Zulus. I am the hero that went into war with the British, causing the most crushing defeat the English ever experienced from any Africans in modern history. It was me who held Prince Napoleon higher to the French throne. My victory at San Luana was one of the most terrifying slaughters in history. A missionary trying to frighten me into accepting Christianity told me about hellfire. Hellfire? I eat hellfire. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have a personal saying too. If it go good on the buds, you can't just eat it once. I am a strict military disciplinarian. The army knew was to conquer or die. I don't look so strict, and I just a fool earlier. I banished the missionaries from Zulu territory. Now, why would I do such a terrible thing? Maybe, just maybe, because they were plotting against me and meddling in my national affairs. I was seen as a threat. It was even suggested to the governor of Cape that my nation, the Zulu nation, be annihilated in order to secure South Africa. Eventually, after many conquers over the British, I was captured. 3 years later, I was granted the request to present my case to Queen Victoria. She found me to be courteous, friendly, and above all, a gentleman. Yes, a gentleman, not the man-eating savage depicted. She honored me as a hero and promised to grant all my power back onto me. But there's always a but in there. But the White House South Africa didn't keep that promise. When I returned home, I went back into war with the enemy, never surrendering my principles of freedom for my Zulu people. I held on to those principles till February 1844, the year I died. But I will live on in history and in the hearts of my Zulu people. Amaseganaleho, which means thank you.
It's Miss Leandra Pear, and she is Miss Nigeria.
Ndeo, Afambo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Leandra Pear, a proud representative of the beautiful country of Nigeria. The name Nigeria was taken from the Niger River, which runs throughout the country. Did you know Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba are 3 major languages in the country? Also, the most practiced religions are Muslims and Christians. Nigeria is located in the western part of Africa, and it is the 32nd largest country in the world. The Murtala Mohammed International Airport is the largest airport in the country. Mr. Mohammed was a well-known military figure. But on February the 13th, 1976, he was assassinated, after which the airport was named in his honor. Lagos was the previous capital of Nigeria. Then, on December the 21st, 1991, Abuja became the capital
Nigeria is rich in oil and therefore aids the country's financial development. The national flag was designed in 1959 and hoisted in 1960. The colors, which are green and white, represents the forest and abundant natural wealth. The white in the middle represents peace. The motto of our country is unity and faith, peace and progress. Egbado Bobo Ale. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ashe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Stephanie Smith performing Nigga.
Where's he seen, nigga? So how you feel? How you feel I stand in front here and call you a nigga? But on the streets is a different story. Cause you on the other side bawling, oi nigga, where's the scene? Nothing nigga, go check you later. On Facebook, happy birthday to my nigga Jerry. On BB, my swag so high, nigga, is we display name. But inside here is a different mentality. They say we emancipated, but I say a mental slavery, because we believe we inferior to the mighty white superior. So much we selling. No, given where we cut your wholesale to buy it back retail. They say they come up with a new dance. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. 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 Tobago jig. Yet we believe nothing we do could compare to the white man's history. So we take the name with proud and say, I proud to be a nigga because it reminds me where I come from. Now let me take you back to history. Nigger is a derogative term given to us by the white slave master. So you're giving the white man his satisfaction because you're proud to be nigger forgetting your ancestors. They say we emancipated, but I say mental slavery. So much we accept everything that the white man give we. Everything black is negative. Black book, black box, blackmail, black magic. Even we skin black. So we negative. Everything in the Caribbean negative because we is black people. So we create and wait until it make the wrongs because we have no pride in what we do. They say we emancipated. But I say a mental slavery. Because it's okay for you to call yourself a nigger, but anybody else say it, you're ready to pull the trigger. Yet we emancipated. Look. But me here to embarrass you, right? I just lay down the facts. Don't call me no nigger, because he's not my slave master.
Let's put our hands together and welcome Miss Alicia Hankey.
Guruka, guruka, guruka bansharo. Habaduke yawako today, guruka bansharo. Guruka, guruka, guruka bansharo. Habaduke yawako today, guruka bansharo. People gather wrong. I want you listen well to set your spirits free. I have this tale to tell. Hear the grumbling of the drums, feel its mystic sound as it elevates you now to a higher ground. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Ready to shake the living, ready to raise the dead, ready to purge your pain from your heart, ready to make you laugh, ready to make the soul of our people dance. Rhythm to make the soul of our people dance. Guruka, guruka, guruga basharo. Apaduke yawako today, guruka basharo. Guruka, guruka, guruka basharo. Apaduke yawako today, guruka basharo. People harmony. Together none will fall. A call for destiny. Dancing on the keys of life, invoking harmony. Brother, daughter, father, wife, won't you dance with me? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Red arm to shake 11, red arm to raise a 10, red arm to purge your pain from your heart, red arm to make you laugh, red arm to make the soul of our people dance, red arm to make the soul of our people dance. Guruka, Guruka, Guruka Bansharo, Abaduke awa kodude, Guruka Bansharo, Guruka, Guruka, Guruka Bansharo, Abaduke awa kodude, Guruka Bansharo.
Mr. Carlos Lewis doing a monologue this evening entitled The First Black President.
They jailed him, isolated him, thinking they can break his spirit. But listen, tonight I will narrate a story to you about a man, a legend, a freedom fighter. Are you wondering of whom I speak? You are still wondering? It is Mandela, Nelson Mandela. When they jailed him, they thought they can break his spirit. They made him to break rocks, thinking they can weaken him. But little did they know, they would make him to break barriers upon barriers of inequality, of injustice. And then, like a true boxer, he fought his way to the center stage of the world, showing everyone how peace and quality can triumph over bigotry and injustice. And so, I stand tonight to tell you about, I am proud to say, that I represent the first black president of the entire world.
Miss Kia Riggs performing a dance this evening. A dance number that portrays Queen Isis as the fertility goddess. Let's welcome Mr. Javin Neptune. Miss Akila Lewis. The name of her talent this evening, A Woman Struggle.
Running from the story your life was born to tell. Your own story, none other like it. Yet, here you go, running from it, running to and fro, running in circles that do not wish their circularity to be a refuge to a life unsure of its shape. There you go, running again, running from your divine purpose towards your purposeless past, running from the life that can transfigure towards the life that will disfigure. Your spirit conflicted between self and higher self, inclined toward benediction, yet tugged toward damnation. And there you go, running again, running from your cherished ideals towards a life of dilution. The generous glow of your light stifled, stripped of your mystery. The world no longer fixes its gaze upon you. Instead, it gazes into the void. with eyes of screaming sadness, and it mourns the loss of your intriguing mystery.
Mr. Jamal Walker, representing King EHOYTE. Performing a monologue this evening is Miss Amy Alexander.
I pray for the sun to shine for all those who are in darkness, the loss of all sense of consciousness, and for all those who go about their everyday lives in anguish and vexation of self and everyone in the environment. We pray for the release of greed amongst our land that corrupts, disrupts, and mash up my land, our country. We pray for the honesty of our parliamentary heads to uphold their oath of office with self-conviction and not like the midnight robbers at high mass bragging about self-gratification, robbing the wealth of our land. We pray for the tolerance amongst all religious groups so that we can abide to love thy neighbor and help nourish the debilitated minds who resort to separatism and discrimination. We pray for the national colors to be respected amongst our natives. When we say colors, we mean its fundamental ideologies in which it was built upon, so that it can be the driving force that propels my country forward, and not into the hands of the oligarchy, whose real aim is to exploit, rob, misuse, abuse, and destroy. Never again must we turn our faces to the wrongdoings, but instead we must stand up and fight. My land, oh Trinidad, no more tears that flows at the doorsteps of injustice, for the folly of the thirst that only aims to molest the young girls, the babies. In the silence, we can hear the moans of the dead who had suffered at the hands of the heartless. Akil Chambers, 1998 till now, no redress. Tell me how a parent's mind so supposed to be at rest. Baby Sean, look, a mother's tears may never go away because she has to put her healthy son in the grave. And what about the children who are fatherless? And this now predisposes them to revenge and gang violence. Our only hope does not lie in the parliament or whosoever we stain our fingers for, but our only hope lies within us and what we can do to recreate our own destiny and realities. Emancipate, free yourself, emancipate ourselves. Nagode, thank you.
Carlisle Burrows playing on the palm. The lion sleeps tonight. Miss Leandra Pear is singing for us an Ella Andel rendition entitled Missing Generation.
Without truth, there is no life to honor. Without love, no reason to live. There's still time to change inhumane behavior and to learn all that we should give. This world is not our own, which has the legs of custodians to guard, to guide, and feed our children's needs. Yet we fill their hearts with hate alone and show no direction. We daily kill the plant, we throw away the seed. There's a missing generation out there. Who cares? You better find them. They are dying, disappearing everywhere. Who cares? You better find them. Somebody better pray. Somebody better pray. There's a missing generation, and soon if we don't find them, they're surely going to find us one day. There's a missing generation, and soon if we don't find them, there'll be no generation to care. In this world of overriding ambition, in this world where money must rule, hearts of rock washed in blood and corruption, Father, only kindness can cool those lies that fill the night, shelter for love and salvation. Are we to hear yet turn and walk away? Or should we stand with hands outstretched to show protection and only still affairs that make them stray? There's a missing generation out there. Who cares? You better find them. They are dying, disappearing everywhere. Who cares? You better find them. Somebody better pray. Somebody better pray. There's a missing generation, and soon if we don't find them, they're surely going to find us one day. There's a missing generation, and soon if we don't find them, there'll be no generation to care. Somebody better pray. Somebody better pray. Somebody. As a young person, I'm scared for my generation. Every day there's a murder and rape. Lord, help us. Somebody better pray. Somebody better pray. Somebody better pray.
Shadowland, the leaves have fallen. The shadowed land, this was our home. The rivers dry. The ground has broken, so I must go. Now I must go, and where the journey may lead me,
an authentic African evening wear, Miss Alicia Hankey. Alicia adorns the stage with a white gown, which is embellished with gold and silver sequins. The gown, as it is rightfully entitled, Host of Heaven, represents Queen Makeda in her purest form. This gown stands out as one of an African bride. The pure love of Makeda and her love for the King Solomon, in which their firstborn was created. The gold and silver represents the wealth of Ethiopia, as well as the pure love and friendliness of the people. Host of Heaven was sewn by Mrs. Lloyd of San Fernando. This is Alicia Hankey in Host of Heaven. Welcoming contestant number 2, Carlos Lewis, representing Nelson Mandela. Carlos this evening is wearing Truth of Prosperity. This bububa is worn by some grooms after the wedding ritual has been performed. It is highly decorated with a dominant color of blue, which represents truth. The shades of green represents peace and growth in the home of the newlywed. It is very fashionable because they want to look their best on their wedding day. Designed and made by Terry David of the Terry David Performing Theatre. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Lewis wearing Truth and Prosperity. We move on to Kia Reeds. This gown is entitled The Transformation of a Goddess, as it represents the transition of Isis from mortality to divinity. The depiction of a winged Isis symbolizes and relates her ability to fan renewed life. Spread wings represents protection in this life and the afterlife. The horn headdress represents her fertility and motherhood. This is original design of David Daniel George of Daniel's Den of Fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Miss Kia Reeds, Mr. Javin Neptune. And Javin is wearing a leader forever. This traditional inspiring ensemble depicts the famous drummer of Guinea, Mamadi Keita, born in August 1950. He is a master drummer from the Western African nation of Guinea. He specializes in the coblet-shaped hand drum called the jibi, and is also the founder of the Tam Tam Manringi School of Drumming and a member of the Mandingo ethnic group. The colors, red, yellow, and green, are the primary colors used by Keita, as used here against a white background in the design of the Agbagda. He wears a drum upon his head in royal style, depicting his passion for the art. The inner piece is jeweled at the neckline, and a three-dimensional dejemi drum is created at the front. A map of Guinea is worn at the back, braided in fine style and accompanied by matching accessories. He commands attention. Designer, contours, fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, Javin Neptune, a leader forever. Keila Lewis. wears a gown entitled African Elegance. Representing the country of South Africa, Aquila captures the essence of a traditional style which is worn in ceremonial occasions such as weddings and other formal functions, which is reflected in fabric and design. This vibrant ethnic gown is designed from a variation of gold lamy, brown and two-tone silk and African print fabric. Her gown carries a distinct bra cup effect, tapered into diagonal pleats, which enhances the contour of Aquila's body, and cascades into a two-layered flowing wide skirt, creating a draping effect at her sides and trails at her back. The underskirt of Aquila's gown symbolizes the aspect of her African culture. Completing this ensemble, Aquila's gown is richly braided and adorned with a huge rose which she wears matching gloves, jewelry, and shoes. Aquila's gown, African Elegance, was artistically and creatively designed and made by Margaret Colsott and Kathleen Bertram. Makeup was done by Michelle Kyan. Ladies and gentlemen, Aquila Lewis, Jamal Walker. Jamal wears a piece entitled the Golden Buba. This traditional buba is worn by kings and very high Sangoma men. This golden buba is worn for special and sacred occasions. It is made of fine hand-woven cotton and decorated with gold and beads. The topi or hat is made of pure gold, which signifies royalty. Designed and made by Terry David of the Terry David Performing Theatre. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamal Walker wearing the golden buba. Amy wears a dress made of African mudcloth. This dress is truly a regal African wear. Designed by Zada Nisman, this dress depicts a glorious nation of wealth that flows beyond the lens of the human eye. This gown comprises of earthly colors, fit for a natural queen. The black represents the strength and courage of a people that has endured centuries of struggle. The pattern fabric illustrates the handworking and industrious nature of the people. The gold accessories that adorn symbolizes the bright, prosperous future that lies ahead for the remarkable African continent. It is also a depiction of the vast amount of wealth present there amidst the struggles. The headpiece, which sits on the crown, is made of genuine gula material from Ghana. This diadem complements the gown that is truly fit for a natural queen. That queen is Nzinga. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Amy Alexander. And Mr. Boro's evening wear is a traditional one made of cotton. It portrays the Ethiopian national colors. These colors pattern the outfit, which helps to magnify its beauty. The crosses seen symbolizes their faith of Christianity. It gives meaning to this outfit as it is worn by Christian Ethiopians within Ethiopia. This outfit can be worn at any traditional celebration held for Christians in Ethiopia. Mr. John. Head wrap and makeup by Ronnie John. This gown celebrates the beauty of the African woman in all her glory and splendor. The color gold was used to depict her wealth and strength, whereas cream portrays her softer side. The gown fits the neat contours of her well-proportioned body, opening into trumpet flare, which is layered with bag twine crochet. She also wears matching shoes and accessories. Ladies and gentlemen, Manza, sweetness, portrayed by Miss Leandra Pay, Miss Nigeria. We invite Miss Alicia Hankey, Queen Makeda of Ethiopia. Mr. Carlos Lewis, representing Nelson Mandela of South Africa. Miss Kia Riggs, representing Queen Isis of Egypt. Mr. Jarvin Neptune Mamandi Keita of Guinea. Miss Akila Lewis, representing Winnie Mandela of South Africa. Mr. Jamal Walker, representing King Ipotep of Egypt. Miss Amy Alexander, Queen Nzinga of Angola, Egypt. Mr. Carlos, King Seweyo of Zulu. Leandra Das, Miss Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you our contestants for our 13th annual St. Patrick Emancipation King and Queen Pageant 2013. Cultural diversity. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It is indeed the most difficult stage of our pageant this evening. We now invite little Jada Neal with our questions for this evening's pageant. We now invite our first contestant, Miss Alicia Hankey, to come take front stage. Alicia, you may choose a question. What is the best gift a parent could share with their children and why?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The best gift a parent can share with a child is love, because without love, there is no peace, and without peace, there is no unity. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Mr. Carlos Lewis. If given an opportunity to implement measures to curtail the crime situation in our country, what one measure would you implement?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I was given the opportunity to implement one measure that would curtail crime, it would be to reinstate capital punishment. I believe that if the criminals are punished for their crimes in a just manner, there would be a decline in the crime rate, and Trinidad and Tobago could return to the place it once was some years ago. Thank you.
Miss Kia Riggs. Thank you. In your opinion, what is the best gift a parent can give to a child?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I believe a best gift a parent can give its child is education, because once you have given education to your children, there's nothing anyone can do to take that away from them. Thank you.
I may now invite Mr. Jarvin Neptune. Go ahead. And your question is number 3. If you are given one wish from only which you can benefit, what would you wish for?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I had one wish, I would wish for wisdom and understanding, so that when life goes on and things come in my way, I will know to be wise at all point in time. So I know wisdom and understanding is the best thing you could wish for in life. Thank you.
Miss Akila Lewis. Choose a question there. And your question is, what is your famous cultural activity in this country?
Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My famous cultural activity in this country would be Best Village, because that's when everyone in your community comes together as one, learning to work as a team and sharing love amongst each other. Thank you.
Mr. Jamal Walker. What is your favorite quote and what does it mean to you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite quote would be, what goes around comes around. Because in this life, everything you do, good or bad, comes back to you. And it's so important to be good, because they always say that being good is something you should always do, because in life, you never know what obstacles may come your way, how things may come back to you. You never know if it might fall in your second generation, but being good always pays off. And that is what is important to me when I say my favorite quote is, what goes around comes around.
Miss Amy Alexander. And Amy, your question is, if you were to be crowned tonight's winner, in what way would you use this title to impact on your community?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I were to be crowned tonight's queen, I would use this as an opportunity to educate the young girls of my community as well as the men to enter this pageant, because it opens new doors for you and it allows you an opportunity to learn more about your heritage and also takes you back to your roots. Thank you.
Mr. Carly Burrows. Thank you. Do you believe the culture and values are well preserved in our country? If so, why?
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Unfortunately, I do not believe that the culture is well preserved in this country. Reason being that I don't believe enough is being done to educate the young people about their heritage and culture. Thank you.
Miss Leandra Pay. Who or what inspired you to enter Mr. and Mrs. St. Patrick Emancipation Show?
Ndeo, ladies and gentlemen. The person that inspired me to enter the show is my aunt. Reason being, the information that I will gain would help me in the near future culturally. Thank you.
We would like to now don't they look lovely, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Dylan Matheson and Miss Tammy Sandy. St. Patrick Emancipation King and Queen Pageant 2012. Alicia is doing a monologue entitled In Queenly Quest.
Like the Queen of Sheba, insurgent from her country, I hail bold from a similar land of liberty, dynamic and free, diverse though we be, we dwell in harmony. Like the Queen of Sheba too, I am here for you, dressed in a robe with strength and honor, prevailing all to my superior, in a pure manner of African women to be, women who have toiled for the sake of their children, women who have earned respect of their men, women standing resilient in the face of diversity, women who gave all their trust to God Almighty, in a pure manner of African women to be. We are here to stand strong and say, conquest, request, valor, dignity and success we regain in this queenly quest. Thank you.
Alafia, Alafia Fenu, peace be unto you. Welcome and good evening. In my journey before my reign, I encountered faults, but being the strong-headed, motivated, positive and inspirational woman of substance, grace and virtue, I was able to bypass my adversities with pride, which encouraged me to remember my purpose. African dancing was not one of my specialities. This emancipation competition allowed me the chance to experience dance. Also, I'm proud to have learned more of my African roots from my research, which I became more aware, as well as from my comrades. My advice to an interested person willing to take part in this competition: once you fit the requirement, as the Bible says, come as you are. Never limit yourself. And to the 2013 delegates, always be strong and passionate, especially in a pageant. A crown is a symbol of life. You have to work hard for it in order to gain it. To whomever takes up the reign of Miss Emancipation 2013, I say to you, congratulations.
Our best dressed African male is no other than Mr. Ryan Louisa. Thank you, Mr. Louisa. And our best dressed female, Miss Ruby Woods. Thank you, Miss Woods. I do hope you enjoy your prize. Let's welcome our outgoing King and Queen of 2012, Mr. Dylan Matheson and Miss Tammy Sandy. Scoring 272 points and a half is Mr. Jamal Walker. First runner-up female, is Miss Kia Riggs with a total of 366.5. second runner-up male is Mr. Carlos Lewis, scoring a total of 238 points. Our second runner-up female is Miss Akila Lewis, scoring a total of 365 points. And this evening, our Miss St. Patrick Emancipation Queen 2013 is Miss Amy Alexander, scoring a total of 373 points. Let's hear it for Miss Amy Alexander. And our Mr. St. Patrick Emancipation King 2013 is no other than Mr. Javin Neptune. We now invite our St. Patrick Emancipation King and Queen 2013 to make their final walk on the stage. Thank you. Let's hear it for Amy Alexander and Mr. Javin Neptune. Have a good evening and get home safely. Thank you once again for your patronage. Good night.